Hey, sometimes things just happen. Stuff breaks. Well, we had that happen this morning. Nothing major, and I fixed it on the side of the road while I was in a rest area. Hey, I got that right.
Don't make that too more dramatic than it is.
So stay tuned. That's coming up right after this.
Hey everybody, I'm Judy.
And I'm Jim, and welcome to It's a Highway Vlog, where you get to travel the country with us, and you don't even have to leave your handy-dandy little bucket with a seat on top.
So while you're sitting there watching that video because your lights went out,
don't forget to like this video, hit that little subscribe button wherever it's at, and ring that little notification bell.
ring, a ring, a ring, a ring.
Once is enough, so you don't miss a thing. Hey, good afternoon. We are sitting in a truck stop. No, we're in a rest area.
I don't know how you do that.
I never know where I'm at.
Right in front of you.
It's
right
amazing.
there.
It's a GPS thing. The GPS throws me off all the time. Not really. Anyway, we're in a rest area east of Columbus. We're headed to Pennsylvania. We unload near Philadelphia in the morning, and we've got some rough weather we're going to drive through tonight, so we're just thought we would stop here and try to get this out of the way for the day. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. This is one of those weird videos.
Yep.
We're going to talk up front, and then there's video at the end, and then we'll probably put something past that. The video is me outside, and I'll tell you why I'm outside.
Yep, this video wasn't one of those planned videos, so...
No, we actually had something else planned, but you'll have to watch something else some other time.
Some other time.
So this morning I got up. We were at a rest area again.
In Indiana.
Sense of pattern? Yes. We were in Indiana at a rest area. Judy pulled in there last night. I got up this morning, went out to my pre-trip, turned the lights on, looked around the side of the truck, and behold, there is a big string of lights. Let me explain. Our truck has what's called chicken lights all the way across the bottom of the bed and across
all the way
the bottom,
across the top.
and across the top. And they're there basically for illumination purposes and for people to be able to see us easier. We like them. It lights up the around the truck at night. It's really nice.
And parking spots. It makes it a lot easier at night to park.
Unfortunately, and these lights are strung out about 1.5 feet across the whole bottom of our bed, and like Judy said, across the top.
They'll see in the video.
Yeah, you'll see in the video. Yeah, so you'll have to watch and stay tuned for the video to see that. So anyway, I noticed this morning there was a string of about 6 or 7 that were not burning. And there are certain lights that are required on these trucks, and these lights are not required lights. And those lights are like the tail lights, the corner marker lights, the 5 lights across the top of the cab, your brake lights, your reverse lights, backup lights. And but these are not required lights. They're just additional lights. We like to have all of our lights burning because the DOT likes that. If I pulled into the scale, we'd be fine with this. But I like to have them all burning.
But in my thoughts, in the DOT's mind, is if that part is not working, then there's probably something else that isn't working. So we might want to pull them in to take a look at the rest of the truck.
Right.
Even though it's not required, it just for us gives us a little bit of peace of mind.
We sort of get stuck sometimes in we're truck drivers, and so the terminology in our heads makes sense, but the DOT would be the Department of Transportation Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division, the people that inspect the trucks and run the weigh stations. So that's the DOT. They're good people, and they're just doing their job, but yeah, okay. So anyway, I noticed the lights were out, and so I knew that we had to get those fixed, and so, and I know exactly where they were out. There's a wiring connection in there. Each one of those lights feeds off the next one. There's a whole string of wire that run all the way down the side of our truck, and so the connection was broken, and I knew just about where it was broken at. It's a connector where the wire that goes to the light splits off from the main line.
And Jim knows this because we've had...
I've rewired just about every single light
Not every
on the
winter. It happens after beginning, middle, end of winter. Usually
corrosion.
Something happens.
The salt
to
and
it.
stuff from the roads eats wiring. I've replaced almost every single one of those connectors. This was actually one of the original connectors that came on the truck. Yeah.
Surprise!
So I had to replace it. I knew how to do it. So while we were sitting at the shipper this morning picking up, I've got a box. You'll see in the video. Yeah, watch the video. You'll see it. That I use that is just mainly my electrical tools. I've got some wire strippers in there, some crimpers, electrical tape, different wiring, my dielectric grease that I've got that I use. And so anyway, I got that out, made up my little wire harness that I knew was how it fit. I've done this so much that I'm so familiar with it that I knew what I had to fix. And so after we got loaded, we came back east, the first truck stop, rest area. Well, we're stopped and we're in a truck, so
It's a stop truck.
first rest area in Indiana. I stopped and we got out, and that's what the second half of this video, Judy got out and decided she was going to film me fixing the side of this. And so apologize for the sound. It's not the best. We were outside.
And we're loaded. We have the reefer running.
Yes. And the reefer makes a lot of noise. And so
And it was windy.
So what I did is within the software we use to create these videos called Adobe Premiere, that's what it's called, Adobe Premiere Pro. There is an ability to take out noise, but it makes the audio sound a little funky. It sounds like we're underwater a little bit, so, but at least you can hear what we're saying for the most part. Mine's a little muffled. I apologize for that, but you sort of get the general idea. This is just not really an emergency repair, but is a repair that I undertook, en route. So this is something that I did.
And I grabbed a video real quick of it,
Yeah.
and just real quick, we are owner operators, and so this is something that I should say, Jim takes upon himself to fix.
Yeah, we.
And just for our purposes, it saves of shop time, and literally we were back on the road within a half hour. And if you take it to a TA, if you take it somewhere else, you might have to wait a little while longer. With even previous owners who have been okay with it, Jim again has done the work. I like to say we because it makes me feel important or like I understand something. But if you're an owner operator, you may or may not have those skills. I do not have those skills. Jim does. That's what makes us a great team.
I've been around trucks basically since I was 2.
Yeah, young.
Literally went with my dad when I could stand up in the seat next to him and put my arm around his shoulder as he drove her down the road when I was 2 years old. Different days. Safety didn't matter then.
And there are many people out here who have those skills, both women and men. It doesn't have to be just the man getting out there and doing the mechanics part of it. It just so happens that as a team, that's the way we work the best. What was I going to say?
Owner operators.
As owner operators, but if you're a driver for someone, if you have those skills, you may mention it to the owner of the truck. They may or may not want you to do that. And also the new and the older trucks, you have to watch out for warranties and things like that. And that's I'm sure what the owners would want you to respect.
Well, and you do have to be careful with electrical stuff because there is a danger of fire if you don't know what you're doing.
By the way, I smelled smoke earlier.
What? But like I said, I've done this many times before, and I do know what I'm doing with this.
So much for the short video.
Yeah, so much for the short video. We're trying to keep it under 10 minutes. But like Judy said, if we would have taken this into the TA to have it fixed, the shop, the Travel Centers of America, the truck stop we normally visit, their minimum usually is $68 for a half hour of work. And this would have they would have charged us for an hour, so
not to mention parts.
$34, parts, everything else. This repair bill that I just did on the side of the road, basically in the rest area, would have probably cost me $150. Plus, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours waiting to get it in.
Driving through
an hour
more
and a half,
snow than what we would.
an hour and a half waiting to pay the bill. And so, I could have easily been tied up for 3 hours, which I didn't need to. So this took, about half hour?
Yeah.
Maybe? Start to finish.
By the way, Jim's time, 15
I have a different
minutes,
clock.
Half hour. I'm the time management strength of the team.
Yes.
So when he says a half hour, it'll take me a half hour. Usually, it's
like
probably
I said,
be an hour.
my clock runs a little differently than hers. She keeps correct time. I keep gym time.
Gym time.
Anyway, this is what you're going to watch. We're just going to play it. It's sort of rough. Take a look. If maybe you can pick up something. If you have questions, let me know.
And hopefully we won't have to do lights again. But if we do, I might think about videoing from the beginning to the end where you did your wiring and harness inside the truck and stuff.
It's that we thing again. We.
You wouldn't have a camera on you if it weren't for me. So it is we.
Watch the video. And we'll be back at the end for some exciting news. Well, not really. Just stay around. Watch till the end. Why not?
Well, this is James fixing some lights on the side of our truck that we noticed went out. He knows more about it than I do. I'm just sitting here taking a video. Say hi, Jim.
Hello.
I don't know what you're doing. Snipping there, cutting there. The lighting's pretty bad on this side. Let me try this side. It's too bright out here. Still too bright. So from what, the back one worked, or?
Well, they're actually wired from the back forward. So what happened was, right here at this light, there was a bad section of the wiring. So I made up a little replacement. So
yeah, you did that while we were waiting this morning for us to get loaded.
So I'll basically tie this back in like this, put these ends together, and put that back in there, and we'll be ready to go.
Yep. Whole 15-minute fix, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Or half-hour tops, that's what you tell me.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Sounds good. But then we'll have to try it and see if the lights all work.
My anti, whatever you want to call it, corrosion stuff I put on my wires, so it keeps them from getting corroded up. It's sort of like dielectric grease.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, well, it's a grease that it keeps the wires from corroding, but it still conducts electricity.
Yeah, I don't know how good the sound's going to be on this with the reefer running and
Probably not so great.
and being out here in the wind and the traffic. We're at a rest area in Indiana, by the way, just in case all of you are wondering where we're doing this at.
Yep, just not on the side of the road.
And you notice Jim's little, and most truck drivers probably have this little seat that he sits on, his little bucket, specifically made for this kind of job. So anyway, we'll come back at you when they're working, hopefully. Right?
So I'll put that in there like that. Put a handy dandy little crimping tool here.
I've got a crimper tool. Gotta have a crimper tool. Crimps it together. Keeps it together, I guess.
Crimps it together, makes the electrical connection, and then I'll come back and I'll electrical tape it.
Oh, you're gonna electrical tape that afterwards?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now.
To keep it protected from the elements? There's the crimping for the next connection. For the record,
Finally, my inlet here.
the last one. And then is it gonna be time for me to go turn on the lights?
Yep.
See if it works. And then if it doesn't, you have to go to a different wire somewhere, huh?
It'll work.
This is it. You know it's it, right?
The only thing it could be. Alright, go try it.
Alright, I'm set.
So anyway, there we go. See the lights? They're all on now. So that worked. She turned them off. So, alrighty, so now all I gotta do is just get in there and wire electrical tape my connections up, stuff it back up in there, put my clamp back on, and I'll be ready to go.
Yeah, you can't get it open. There's Jim's electrical toolbox that keeps all his electrical stuff in.
Got connectors, wire, tools, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's all electrical.
He decided to get this together when we had all these chicken lights that are really cool, but a pain in the neck.
Yep.
All right, so now you're electrical taping it up.
Yeah, use my electrical tape before it gets cold. It don't work too good when it's cold.
Nope, sun's shining. It's a little windy out there here though. So you never knew you were going to be an electrician when you got into this job, did you?
Well, I know from when my dad used to drive trucks, he was always messing with the lights on them, so I had a sneaking suspicion.
And you learned from a great person. And I am so very fortunate to be on a truck with someone so handy. Mechanical. I don't know what you want to call it.
Just someone that grew up around trucks.
Which I didn't.
And I certainly did. Around trucks, under trucks, in trucks, on top of trucks.
All of the above. And again, I don't know if we're going to be able to hear half of what you're saying because of what's going on. There he is, taping up all those connections. So hopefully that keeps the crud out of them, keeps them together. At least I'm assuming that's the reason behind the electrical tape.
Yeah, it's to try to keep the wind, the water, and the dirt, salt, and everything out of them.
Yeah, speaking of salt, this truck really needs washed.
Yes, it does.
And we're going to run into more snow this afternoon, it sounds like.
Yes, we are.
So that's another reason we need to get moving down the road. I think we're going to hit it in Pennsylvania.
Yes, we are.
In the mountains. Hopefully we'll go through there at light where you don't have to worry about driving in the dark.
Well, if this guy would ever hurry up and get his truck fixed, it'd be okay.
Yeah, but you said the snow's already started.
Yeah.
And then what do you do after that? Just tape it up underneath there? Oh, what, you guys stick it back in that
Well, there's
tubing
like a
stuff.
little tubing
Yeah.
thing that helps keep some of the water and everything off wiring. I think sometimes it does more harm than good. But I'd already had my one portion of my connectors all taped up, so I didn't have to do it again. I always put two little routes of tape on these things.
Extra protective.
Yeah.
And again, some of our other viewers may have other ways they deal with all this. So hopefully people will comment and talk about what they do. And I know that some people, there's nothing wrong with it. You take it into the shop to have this stuff done. Because some people just don't have the knowledge to be able to do it, which is all right. But we all know the DOT likes all the lights lit up, even though, you know, only some of them are required. Just as one of those things that I think we were told when we first started that you try to not have anything wrong with your truck when you're going through the way stations and out on the road, because that just gives them an excuse to say, well, if that's not fixed, then there are other things on that truck that probably aren't working right. So
Right.
we need to pull them over. So we try to keep things as much as we can fixed up and done so that we don't have to worry about getting pulled over extra times.
Right.
So
It's probably easier to do on a nice 85-degree day.
where your
in
hands
Florida.
aren't cold.
Hands are just a little cold.
Yeah. And of course it always happens when it's cold outside. At least it's not, you know, raining and all that crud too.
Yeah. So now what I usually do is where I tape, I'll go ahead and stuff doesn't tape around there too good, so I usually put another strand of tape around the actual this stuff here too.
So it holds it together a little bit.
Holds it together. Keeps a little bit more of that junk out of it.
All right, I think we'll stop this.
Okay, I hope you learned something. Maybe
We're
got a little
back.
bit out of it. Yeah, we're always back, honey.
Always. Been that way for 30 years, me anyway.
Oh, me for a lot longer. Anyway, we're back. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like content like this, please like the video, give it a little thumbs up, click the little subscribe button if you would, like to be notified when we're on air, and don't forget to ring the little bell. Right?
Oh, now you're ringing. That's my job.
Ring the bell.
As the team, ring.
We ring the bell. Take care. Stay safe. We'll see you in the next video.
So long, everybody.
Good night.